So, obviously I'm not going to have as much to say about this week's episode, for though there was more meat to this episode, there was less content to discuss. That said, hot damn do I love this show. I unfortunately don't know the prisoner's name, but the one that threw the walker on top of Rick, I'm going to call Mickey from here on out. Anyway, concerning Mickey, I haven't been this happy about a brutal decision since Shane beat the hell out of Ed after he slapped Carol at their camp just outside of Atlanta. Man, when Rick brought that machete down on top of Mickey's head, it was fantastic and gory and the perfect decision. It's what we all wanted Rick to do, and he did it. It was just terrific. Aside from that moment concerning the prisoners, I probably consider it a mistake to let the other two live in the now emptied second cell block. I just don't know if it's going to end well, and I'm already worried that it was one of those two prisoners who was watching Carol at the end of the episode. If it wasn't one of those two, and it might have been somebody else outside the prison, that's not good. As far as anything else that happened, it was a little weird when Carl went off to the infirmary by himself and sort of came back saying he killed two walkers. And it wasn't weird that he went there or that he killed walkers. It was weird that no one else really made mention of it outside of that moment when we found out that he went there. It seems like somebody would have thought, hey, well, let's get a group going back there and get supplies, and maybe they will. Even if Carl tells them that everything's been scavenged, I'm sure they're going to go back and check it out again. And perhaps that will happen next episode. It just seems like somebody else would have brought it up already. Another thing I'm concerned about is Carol cutting open the zombie body at the end of the episode. She wasn't wearing gloves at all. Now, we already know that, just getting zombie guts and whatever on you doesn't turn you into a zombie, but the human body's already full of dangerous parts. What if she accidentally gets a little scratch on her finger and then, she's turned? And speaking of turning, the prisoner who got a cut on his back, I don't think he would have necessarily turned, especially if they had treated the wound, and I think Rick kind of knew that, but it didn't matter. The show was trying to showcase that Rick was willing to kill him at the earliest convenience, kill all of them at the earliest convenience, because he knew they were going to be in the way. And speaking of in the way, while I'm really glad that Herschel's alive still, and he's going to continue to be in the show, at least for one more episode, he's certainly going to be a hindrance now. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. He can supervise Carol for the pregnancy, but he's mostly just going to be lying around and being fed and taking up space. And I understand that's a little harsh, but it is the truth. It's the brutal truth in a brutal world. That said, I really hope Herschel sticks around a while. And then finally, at the end, could Rick be a bigger dick? I know that Lori cheated on him, and I know that she had feelings for Shane, and she really isn't that great of a wife, but still, he needs to ease up a little bit. He gave her the one little shoulder rub, but come on, she's trying, man, she's trying.